Hello, this is Two Ladies Noodles Adventures. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Janina.
And I am going to be reading Part 7 of The Incredible Escape of John Surratt in the book True Tales of Bold Escapes. I'm going to start off where I last was. At Street Laboratory, Father Butcher had been easily taken in. Surratt's sponsors told a plausible cover story. The good padre said that he had been notified that a Charles Armstrong was to stay with him. As a convalescent, Mr. Armstrong was described as someone who had been compromised in the American War. Father Butcher did not identify, perhaps did not know, the cause of this particular notification. He admitted, however, that he took Mr. Armstrong under his wing. He also admitted that about 12 days after his arrival, the mysterious guest made himself known as John H. Surratt. Surratt hid with his French-Canadian press until the later part of July. During this accurate period, he may have improved his health by dog cart riding, deer hunting, fishing in the forest streams. During the same period, his mother was hanged in Washington, D.C. Although he expressed great bitterness at her execution and subsequently damned the U.S. government as a murderer, the young man made no effort to emerge from his Canada sanctuary, no attempt to rescue his mother by coming forward with revelations which might have certified her innocence. Perhaps the weak link in Miss Surratt's defense lies in the silence of her absent son. Press and public called upon him to speak up in her behalf. It seemed unbelievable that he, in all conscience, would have let his mother go to the gallows. Had he been in possession of facts which might have saved her, but John Surratt remained silent in his comfortable retreat. Neither then nor later did he produce evidence guaranteed to exonerate her, nor did he ever offer reasonability explanation for his seemingly unflinching conduct. Late in July, Father Butcher sprinted the mysterious guest to another address, the home of Father Lapierre, where Surratt was concealed until the end of that summer. Now, American State Department wires to Canada seem to have grown warm. Not the formal wires on this heroic record, but the code wires that pass secretly between U.S. and Canadian diplomats. Eventually, the government in Ottawa feared trouble. Surratt was advising to move. In fresh disguise and closed carriage, he was taken by fathers Butcher and Lapéry to Montreal. There, accompanied by Father Lapéry, John Surratt boarded the river steamer Montreal, his destination Quebec. While the river boat paddled down the street, Lawrence, Father Lapéry, kept Surratt under lock and key. Then at Quebec, the obligating press accompanied the disguised Surratt from the Montreal steamer to the ocean steamer Perbuin, bound to Liverpool. Father Lapéry introduced Surratt to the Peruvian's surgeon, Dr. Macmillan, as a Mr. McCarthy. The Peruvian sailed for Liverpool on September 15th, 1865. As the liner bucked out into the North Atlantic, Mr. McCarthy seemed to have been a lonely, nervous, and probably seasick passenger. At any rate, he made a point of cultivating the ship's surgeon, this suspicious Scot. Many have thought it odd that McCarthy, black hair, appeared blonde at the roots. To McCarthy would shy away whenever a fellow passenger approached, and he would become either evasive or non-continental. If asked his destination, early in voyage, a curious incident occurred. The doctor and McCarthy were chatting at the rail when a bearded gentleman, stuttered by McCarthy, recoiled nervously. He glared at the stranger's back and muttered to Dr. Macmillan, "That man is an American detective. I think he's after me." "Why do you think he's a detective?" the doctor inquired, "and if so, why do you care?" According to historian Oldroyd, Surratt's response was, "I have done such things that if you should know them, it would make you stare." It seems more than passing strange that Surratt, an experienced secret agent, would voluntarily expose himself in such mush-mouth fashion. Moreover, Oldroyd would have us believe that Surratt drew a revelry No, it's not that.
It's not.
REVOLVER.
Revolver?
I think so.
Revolver.
And said with reference to the supposed detective, "But this will fix him." True, he presumably spoke in confidence to the surgeon of the Canadian steamer. He may have assumed he stood on foreign soil. Even so, such a confession appears to have been as unnecessary as was risky. Yet Surratt apparently did reveal his identity. Dr. Macmillan's reaction was as to be expected. His curiosity aroused so aroused, he sought further information on the extraordinary Dr. McCarthy. The doctor did not learn anything of significance from the alleged alleged detective, who turned out to be a lumber merchant from Toronto. But Macmillan undoubtedly consulted the stock of newspapers and periodicals in the passenger salon. Surratt's description had been published, and he owned the factual feature extremely difficult to disguise. That prominent noise must have been a dead giveaway. Accordingly, it seemed that John Surratt later in the voyage attempted his identity to the ship's doctor, as Oldroyd tells it. There was a terrible burden weighing upon Surratt's heart, and there is no wonder when he got out on the ocean with only one man on board, and he knew that he unburdened his heavy conscience. So it stands officially recorded that Booth's chef accomplished boldly his underground disguise as SS Purvian across the Atlantic. I still got a little more time. Fascinated, the Canadian physician listened to the liquidish fugitive account of the assassination conspiracy. Surratt declared that the abduction plot was concocted entirely by J. Wicks Booth himself. He said that while he was in Montreal, he received a letter from Booth informing him that plans were to be laid that he had hastened to Washington, but as Oldroyd relates it, he did not state to what part of the terrible affair he had been assigned. However, he had stated enough to excite Dr. Macmillan, coupled with press support that the U.S. government was offering a $25,000 reward for Surratt. His statements were more than enough. Apparently, Dr. Macmillan envisioned early retirement on a gentlemanly farm where he could maintain a thoroughbred stable and breed prize cattle. In consequence, on September 27, 1865, a wilding American vice consul at Liverpool sent off an electrifying message to State Secretary Seward in Washington, officially filled as dispatch No. 53-8. I'm going to stop it there, so the message will be a mystery for you all. So, like and subscribe so we can get to 1,000 subscribers so we can start beekeeping. And stay blessed, make the world a better place, one person and one moment at a time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Boop.
Boop.
Julietta.
Boop.
Boop. Boop.
Boop.